Hey guys, got a new little product here. This is a Newpac mining farm cooling unit. So what you need for this is you're going to need 80 by 80 fans. Now they don't really matter how actually thick they are. So this one is 25 millimeters and 80 by 80. The reason why they don't matter is how long it is. It can be like 10 millimeters, it could be 20, it could be 25. Is because they will go on the back of the unit. So imagine the farm is in the middle. Like say you got a 12 USB charging hub. It will be sitting in the middle here, and the fans would be on the outer sides here, you see. So it won't interfere in the middle. So this side is finished, and this will be going one way. I don't remember which way this spins, but basically the other side needs to face the other way. So here we have some air-cool fans, and they are connected at the moment in series with Molex. They can be tied up if we want, but at the moment I thought I'd just connect them with the power cables that they came with. And I use little cable ties here to just tidy up the cables. And they are secured with these countersunk self-tapping screws. So if we have a look here, these little things. Now let's have a little measurement of how big they are. So these are, let's see, can you guys see? These are around 5 millimeters wide, and you can see that the spacing is really wide, because obviously they self-tap into the fan themselves, so they don't tap into the frame. The frame holes, they're actually much larger, so it just kind of fits through them, whilst they tap into the fans themselves. So these actually countersunk self-tapping screws. They come with these air-cool fans. These came with PC cases, which the fans we didn't need for. And so basically I have loads of these countersunk screws. So yeah, as I mentioned, so they're around 5 millimeters wide, and in total, so let me just get a close-up for you guys. They are 5 millimeters wide, 4.5 if we want to be technical. No, it's around 5. And length is around 9.8, so I would just say 1 centimeter. Yeah, 10 millimeters, 1 centimeter. On the other side, they can't be like this. They need to be the other way, so that when we turn them, the air is going to go in one direction. So one acts as an intake, one acts as an outtake. Very simple. And I just want to make sure that the cables go in the same direction. So these are going that way, the cables. So let's just start off with one screw, put it in here, and just screw into it. And I'm not going to tighten them all just yet. I'm just going to do one screw at a time, and then once they're all in, then I'm going to tighten it. Because you want to make sure that there's no imperfections in the tolerances. Yeah, once you feel it grab on, you can just move on. And these countersunk screws go all the way inside the frame itself, so they're nice and flush. And also make sure that the cables point downwards. That way we can have a clean wiring setup. So this whole frame, I do have this up on Etsy, and if you want to 3D print it yourself, you can do that. So that's the files that I have available of this actual frame. So you see these plastics, these are 3D printed. So that is exactly what I'm advertising here via this video. But I might do a few sales of a whole finished rig, just of the cooling unit itself, not the actual mining farm. But since I'm finding this quite fun, I might set up another print where it is all printed as one piece. So at the moment, you see I got these 2 different pieces printed, and then you have another piece that slots in here and holds them all together, so that the mining unit can be just placed at the bottom. Anyway, let's keep going. So let's just screw it all together. Got one more fan to go. I find this oddly satisfying for some reason. Well, it's just like PC building, isn't it? The assembly is quite satisfying to me. And there's something about the perfect 3D printed. Actually, one thing I forgot to do, I forgot to clean this print up. So we do have very few stray pieces of plastic, which we can clean up easily with just a lighter. So let's get a lighter here, and although I have the fans here already, I can just be very careful. I advise you do this before you actually mount the frame. So you see we've got a little flame here, and I'm just going to run it on the honeycomb area. It's very, very little, not even needed really, but just to make things easier for me, just very quick pass. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm not even going to bother anymore because this is almost a flawless print. Very happy with my tuned in settings on my 3D printer. Nearly done now, and like I said, so now that all the screws are in, now we can check that they are nice and tight and everything is nice and flush. And then we're going to get down to cable management. Excuse me. Okay, and let's have a look around. Yep, the bands are very flush, and as I said, if we look from here, so they're like that. You see one way, you see the front here, and the front here is on the other way, which gives us nice direction of the fan flow, which is going to be like one way or the other way. I don't remember which way was which. Anyway, so we can see that the cables are running that way, so let's mimic it on this side. So let's just undo the cable ties. Okay. Make sure they're not twisting too much and they're going in one direction. And let's get our cable ties. Got our cable ties here, and let's see the way I have them here, like that. So I want it like this. Let me have it in the second hole. Like that. So I'm not going to tighten them all just yet. I'm just going to poke them through first. And so for this side, they are turning like that. I'll sort them out in a minute. And the last one, actually I need to tighten them now so I can actually get a sense of the direction that they are going all in. Okay, can you guys see alright? Yep, zoomed in. Because if you guys can't see them, what's the point of me making this video? Okay. Yeah, where's my last cable tie? Here it is. Now we can actually tighten them. Is this okay? Is that okay? Yeah. Oh, I want the cables under, not on top. Do not want to see them. Ah, I screw this one up with the cable tie. Ah, there we go. It's gone under. It's good. This one's on top. I want it under. Yep, that's good. Now we can tighten it. Okay, and now we can just cut them off. I don't cut it off right at the base because since these cable ties are very, very small, they actually tend to undo themselves if you cut them too close. Okay, so now that we have the bottom piece printed, we can actually assemble this together. So the way they would assemble, you see you have slots here in both sides, and they would slot in. And now you could leave it like that, but I would like to super glue these in place. So let's remove one side. Actually, let's remove both sides. And let's get our super glue. And instead of putting the super glue on this, I would prefer to put it on into the slot so that it could just sit inside the slot. But I'm running low on super glue, so I might have to open the super glue bottle up a bit. But let's see if I can get it to flow a little bit. And I'm gonna fill both sides first before I shove in the flat piece. So let's do this. One side's done. No, it's not done yet. I'm gonna do this one as well. And then the other side. And you don't need too much, just right in the center where the bevel is. And also the bevel helps keep the super glue in its location. One more side. Nearly done. Okay, that's enough. And now, once we have the flat bit inserted, I am going to use some clamps to hold them in position. Not too tight, and this isn't exactly vital, but I want to do it just to make sure that the super glue gets fixed in position correctly. So I know this seems like a bit of an overkill. Not super necessary, using especially this big of a clamp. So you can see, guys, here you go. And I'm using very little force, by the way, just very tiny bit of rotation with the clamp. Obviously not everyone might have these clamps. And what I also will offer in the 3D printing files is I'm going to offer this whole assembly as a one printed piece, so you won't have to assemble it if you don't want to. The only thing you will have to assemble, of course, is attaching the fans. And then just tighten these a little bit. And like I said, not a lot, just a little bit. Actually, I want it a bit closer to more the centers, like, so it's at the third of the way. Around here, yeah. Very tiny bit of pressure, not major. Undo this one, and a bit close. There we go. And I'm going to have 2 more clamps for these sides as well. Okay. And on the other side, make sure you guys can see properly. Should have zoomed out actually from the start. Let's move this up a little bit. So it's in the center for you. And you only really need to leave this on for around, what, maybe an hour. Remember, not too much pressure, just very little bit. There we go, that's good. So let this dry, and I'll come back to this within around an hour. Okay, so with the clamps removed, we have a very nice unit. So now let's just tidy up the cables. So let's see what we can do here. So I'm just straightening out the cables first. And I think I want them running down. Let's get a cable tie. So luckily we have these honeycombs that I incorporated into this design. So I think that will go quite nicely for cable management, for cable ties. So I'll put it to the side. And I'll put the cable tie, where should we put it? Let's put it through here, and I'll have the clip on the inside. A bit awkward, but let's see if I can put it in. Yep, got it in. And I'm not gonna tighten it too hard because I don't want to damage the cables, but just a little bit. There we go. And now they're going down. Let's get another cable tie, and they can meet at the bottom. Actually, not too low, because they need to be able to move, I think. Something like that. We're just improvising, by the way. How do I want it? Just gonna copy the other one as well, so it's like that. On the bottom, over the top, and then I'm gonna tighten it. There we go. Actually, I'm going to put in another cable tie, maybe here. Where is it again? So maybe here, here. So it's nice and tidy. There we go. Ow. Just bent my nail back a little bit. Not fun. Okay, that's good on this side. Let's do it to the other side. So, and I want to mimic how I done it on one side. So like that. Right next to it. So I believe it's here. Yeah. Is it slightly higher? Yeah, slightly higher, so I just want to match them so it's in the exact same holes. Yep, that's right. Let's do the bottom one first. And last one is here, side to side, this one. Tighten the cables a little bit, nice and tidy, and now we can cut the excess off. I'm going to use a little clippers, not clippers, like nail scissors. And there is excess room for the unit itself, so like you see, you might think it's getting in the way, but there's an extra around 0.5 centimeters, so around 5 millimeters excess, so these cable ties shouldn't get in the way. Nice. Okay, so how should we sort these out? Because they look a bit messy at the moment, don't they? I mean, I'm being a bit too picky and a bit too OCD-ish about how tidy these cables are. I really shouldn't care. You know what, I'm gonna try just not care about the cables too much, and I'm just gonna let them be a little bit messy. There. This one side, I think that should be alright. I think that should be fine. So let's see if I can actually connect them. Do I have one missing? Oh, there it is. Okay. Now we could make this a bit more simplistic by just cutting them all off and just soldering, but I'm not going to do that this time because I just want these to be modular. So now we can be able to just put them together and connect it to a 12-volt power source. Actually, I'm going to tie this as well to the ends like that. There we go. Nice and tidy. And I'll leave it at that. I can't do it one end, can I? Clean.